are a team, again, that they break the meta.
Oh,
and they're going to be going up against one of the most aggressive teams, River of Blood. And to me, I look forward to see what kind of matchup that's going to be for us. It's going to be the first matchup we're going to have tonight. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at the rest of the matches that we're going to have tonight. So first up, we have River of Blood versus Cazadores. Afterwards, it's going to be Nerve versus EC, Turtle Police versus Bear Huggers, and Refuse to Die versus Scurry Hard. And then tonight, the Clash of the Titans so far for the league, Fulcrum versus Simple Tankers. Now, I'm very, very excited for the last match tonight because Fulcrum, which was the #1 seed moving in, hasn't lost a match yet. Simple Tankers was the #8 seed moving in as one of the other invited teams, and they haven't lost a match yet.
Well, we got a couple of psychos as well for our match #1, River of Blood versus Cazadores. That's definitely a match that I'm looking forward to. You mentioned it before. I mean, these two teams are the most aggressive teams we have in our lineup for this individual group. We can't expect anything from these two players. I'm gonna defer to Rukil a lot because I'm not gonna know what the heck is going on. And you know what? Probably he's not gonna be able to predict the majority of things that happen in this match just because of how aggressive, how out of the box these two teams normally play in their series.
And we have Refuse to Die, which is the dark horse we consider for this tournament. They're performing well. They're 1-1. They're going to be up against Scurry Hard, who has been a surprise hit so far for this league. And then Turtle Police versus Bear Huggers. Both these teams have yet to win a match, but both of these teams are the ones that have taken a bite out of Fulcrum Gaming. Fulcrum has lost one battle to both of these teams. So they still have a little bit of confidence that they need to go into any sort of tournament, but knowing like, hey, I know this is a team that I'm equal or even better at going up against compared to maybe some of the confidence issues or being a little bit intimidated by some of the other teams that have performed very, very well in the past. I look forward to that match as well. All these matches are going to be very exciting. It's a great, great day to end the first week of the league play.
Yeah, I actually want to talk to Rukil, of course. Rukil, what are you looking forward to?
I was looking forward to Nerve versus EC. Nerve has been a team that's impressed me, and EC I was already kind of, favoring them a little bit. But the thing is, Nerve is who's really begun to impress me, and I want to see them fight EC. I want to see that fight, and I think it's going to be lots of fun to watch. So, Nerve EC for me.
Is it fair to say that today is the best day of the week so far?
I think
in terms of matches.
Let's think.
I think the storyline is starting to build up enough that we're seeing what's at stake for all these teams individually, reputation-wise. Of course, we all know what's at stake for the $100,000 prize pool. The top 8 teams go to Vegas, but now we're seeing that conflict of what is their past so far in the league and how are they going to match up now into week #2. I think it's an excellent day, and it's probably the best day.
It is
not just because that we're here, but we got some great storylines moving here.
That's probably 50% of it, though.
Okay. We both shaved too. So
yes,
that's great.
I didn't.
I feel like an 18-year-old little boy now.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Let's go ahead and talk about the rule format real quick because we have some new viewers that are just checking out World of Tanks Esports for the first time. 7 players per team, 42 tier points per team. Highest tier that you can have per tank is 8. Each match is a best of 5. Now, for each of the team rosters, they do have 10 players, but only 7 of those players will be on the battlefield. We have a specific draw rule that we have in place. So out of those best of 5 matches, if a draw happens, we move on to the next map. We have a map pool of 8. If the team has more wins than the other at the end of that map pool of 5, the best of 5, it is declared a victory. If not, we go into overtime for the remaining 3 maps, and whoever takes that victory allows the victory points of 3 points. If it goes on to a continual draw where all the maps have been used, then it's 1 point for each of the teams. That way we're not here till 3 o'clock in the morning, and that way the teams know that if they do not perform, if they do not get the victory, then they're going to get less points.
And it's quite substantial, too. 1 point as opposed to 3 points. It's going to put you down. It's very, very similar to having a loss. So obviously you do not want to draw. You're kind of like messing both of the teams up. But, of course, if you're up against a team like Fulcrum, which if I was a new team up against Fulcrum, I would really work for that draw at the best case scenario.
It's still a viable strategy. It's there, and it's why we wanted to put the rule in there because drawing it out and getting on a different map with a different tank selection can benefit you if that's more of your strength. If you're a city map type of group or the tanks that you like to select, you feel more comfortable with those, like IS-3s, of course. But if you like Prokhorovka more of the open field tanks, the lighter tanks.
I still bring IS-3s to that. Don't care, YOLO.
All right, if somebody brings an IS-3 tonight to Prokhorovka, I will buy you dinner.
Really?
Yeah. Deal.
I will have to contact Trouble 2 right now.
He contacts EC. Okay, let's go ahead and actually look at the groups so far of all of our teams. So Group A, the Alpha Division, we have Fulcrum Gaming, Turtle Police, Bear Huggers, Simple Tankers. They are the invited teams. The ones that qualified, River of Blood, Refuse to Die, Scurry Heart, and Cazadores. Group B, the Bravo Division, we have Simp, Mop Force Strike, and Wreak Havoc. That were the invited teams. And the qualified teams, Simplistic, Nerve, Cunninghams, and Ermagerd, Kerniver, and we call them EC for short. Some great performances so far. And finally, to everyone watching, we want to remind you that you can participate in chat with the bot bet system that we have. The leaderboard for the points will be receiving some cool prizes either at the end of the week, or we're going to determine when we're going to send those out. But we'll get your contact information, as well as Twitter. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at WGLNA, and also on Facebook at WGLNA. You can also go to YouTube as well. But if you want to watch the VODs are quicker up on Twitch. And the best way to get to the VODs is WGLNA.com. Also information about the standings when the stream is live. And the stream is also embedded in the launcher for World of Tanks. I think that's one of the coolest things.
All you have to do is click that button. It goes directly to us. Of course, tell your friends, your family, your clans, your... what else is there? Battle buddies.
Battle buddies. TeamSpeak groups.
TeamSpeak groups.
Everyone you know.
Kindergarten classes.
Yeah,
just call up old friends. It's a good reason to reconnect.
Call some of my college buddies. Hey, I haven't heard from you in a couple years. Hey, man, World of Tanks.
Yeah.
Have you heard?
You can go through their launcher and just click into our stream.
That's right. And I actually do have some friends that I knew in Virginia that are watching, so shout out to you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. And to be able to play with anybody around the world is a lot of fun, but be able to share esports around the world is a lot of fun as well. Also, these players can actually compete in the global finals happening in 2014. We have some more information about that we will release. So it's not just the $100,000 prize pool in the Vegas trip. They're also going to try to qualify for the World Finals. And also, there's some other tournaments happening. You have the NVIDIA tournament that's going on, and also World Cyber Games is happening. The grand finals will be in Kushan, China in November. World of Tanks will be one of the official game titles there. Last year, they were a promotional title. So it's great. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the North American teams have a lot of talent, and I feel that they can go toe-to-toe with any of the teams the rest of the world can dish out.
Definitely so, and I'm looking forward to just see the North American team obviously cultivate into a very strong force to be reckoned with. Anyway, we're going to go to a short commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we're going to do the face-off between the first two teams. It will be, as we said, River of Blood versus Cazadores. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the WGLNA Day Number 4.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WGLNA. We're about to get ready for match number 1. It's going to be River of Blood versus Cazadores. The matched aggression versus the anti-meta team of these two teams. You know, River of Blood and Cazadores both have the story of going through the qualifiers, and I look forward to this match, and I look forward to talking to them. I think I'm going to have to translate in Spanish for our face-off here. I'll do the best I can, asking some simple questions, because my Spanish is intermediate. It's not really advanced yet.
Yeah.
I'm still working on my Korean. That's even
So I can
more
help
basic.
you out too.
Okay.
I'm advanced too.
That's great. So we're going to get that underway in just a little bit, folks. And until that time, I want to talk a little more about River of Blood. You know, they had so many 3-0s in the qualifiers. The only map that they lost was against Team Black Label. They actually 3-0'd Nerve in the qualifiers. And, you know, their aggressive type style, other teams that are going to watch their type of style, how would they counter that? How do you counter aggression? Rookhill, how would you counter aggression, such as River of Blood?
You have to just be prepared for that, where they're going to come from. There are locations that you can set up, have a good hold down, you know, that kind of stuff, and you want them to approach you probably across an open field kind of thing. You want there to be open ground that the enemy can get tracked and killed in as they try and get close to you. If it's hard to rush someone when you have to rush them across an open field. So that's generally how we've seen aggressive rushes dealt with on Prokhorovka, for example. Teams wait in the back, they have their guns trained on the specific location where the enemy will come in, and when they come on in, well, it's just a slaughter at that point. That is how you deal with aggression.
What about turtling, though? What about the counter to that? Because in a couple matches, we've seen some crazy turtling. You know what? I'm going to ask you that a little bit later because we have the face-off ready to go. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We have, I believe, Captain Blood from River of Blood and the leader of Cazadores as well. Hola, Kufo, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, hola, ¿qué tal?
Hola,
Muy bien.
¿Qué tal? Muy bien. I'm going to go ahead and ask Kufo 2 questions real quick. River of Blood, and I'm going to go to you first. I'm going to go to you second. So, Kufo, I'm going to ask him first, how do you feel about the league so far? Kufo, ¿cómo se siente acerca de esta league y la performance? ¿Cómo se dice performance de tu equipo?
Sí, sí. De momento, yo creo que hemos tenido, si bien no hemos podido ganar, hemos tenido una buena performance en el sentido que hemos podido mostrar un juego diferente. Ahora lo que nos falta es, más que nada, es controlar las batallas, o sea, no ser tan arriesgados y poder jugar por los tiempos y ser un poco más sereno.
Okay, from what I could catch from Kufo, he's saying that they need to change some things. They want to win. Obviously, they're very excited to be here. That's what they said last time. But they're prepared to make the certain necessary changes they need to have. I was able to catch. So I apologize. My translation is not 100%. Okay, my second question, Kufo. I'm going to ask him. Does he have any words for Captain Blood? Kufo, tiene palabras para este match en frente de Captain Blood, el capitán.
Bueno, mis palabras son de... Con Capitán Blood nos conocemos hace mucho, hemos peleado muchos torneos y siempre las batallas entre Cazadores y River Blood son muy buenas, muy interesantes de ver.
Okay, gracias. What he said is that they've faced River of Blood in many different tournaments, and they respect the team and they've had fun playing them, and so they're looking forward to playing against River of Blood. Okay, Captain Blood, I'm going to ask you these in Spanish as well to see how your Spanish is. No, I'm going to go ahead and ask you in English. You're 1-1 right now. You defeated Refuse to Die 3-2. You lost to Scurry Hard 0-3. How tough was that loss?
It was pretty stingy. I mean, we kind of do our we're like a dog. You just take the collar off of and throw forward and see what happens. And sometimes it works and sometimes it just bites you in the ass. And by the third game, I admit I was a little frustrated. So like I personally got up a little too far and pretty much doomed my team by my positioning. Patience is not my strong point, but I'm gonna work on it. Got to work on it.
Okay. Well, patience is a key to any team leader, especially when you have 6 other people that you're in command of on the battlefield. And you have to say a lot of things, but right now I want to know what you have to say to Kufo, your opponent for this match.
Cazadores, other than us, I would like them to win as much as possible. They're probably my favorite team here because they've really been this just sort of tenacious opponent for over a year of skirmishes. They've always been there. We've always had, even when we beat them, they've always been really close, good games, lots of fun. And I wanted to prepare some trash talk in Spanish, but I just couldn't do it. I like these guys too much. So.
Okay, River of Blood, you have the higher seed. So in the coin toss, you get to choose. You choose heads or tails.
Tails never fails.
Tails never fails. Let's go ahead and flip the coin. It is tails. Oh. So what will be your map?
I will pick the map of... Defer.
Defer. Okay, Cazadores.
Lieutenant says defer.
Ave. Map Ave.
See, Abby?
Sí.
Si quieres Abby. Okay. River of Blood, which position would you like on Abby?
North.
North position. River of Blood will spawn in the north position of Abby. Good luck to you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
All right. Buena suerte. Okay. On the spot. I still got to practice some more Spanish. But thank you, Kufo, for your patience on that. And we're so excited to have you as part of this team. It is really a great representation of all the Latinos here in America. And not just the United States, but all of America that can participate. It's great.
And yes.
And of course, River of Blood.
In South America, too.
In South America, yeah.
And
Central America.
It's true.
It's all America. It's all America.
It's all America.
It's even Australia, Australia.
We wave that United States flag everywhere, okay?
All right, Greetorp. Go ahead and show me what the different tanks they've chosen so far.
Surely. River of Blood is repping 2 AMX 5100s, 2 T69s, and a WZ132. So very interesting choice. A lot of people would actually prefer the AMX 1390 in this case, which is, of course, what we see from the Cazadores. 3 AMX 1390s, 2 T69s, and a single T1. It looks like the Cazadores are missing one of their team members. Really unfortunate.
Ah, that's too bad. Countdown had to begin within those 3 minutes. Once the 3-minute timer is over, we start the match, ready or not. Rukil, I see 2 different advances on 2 different sides of the map. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, I am seeing the same thing. So what's happening is from the Cazadores side, they are pushing the east side and they're taking the east side road, whereas River of Blood is pushing way up on the west side. Really too bad for them. We're not going to see that engagement you were talking about. No corner games here. Not today.
Well, that's okay. We do have 1 light tank, 2 light tanks in the middle in the Abbey side where all the monks live, and both of those light tanks are on opposite sides of each other, so trying to get those initial spots. And when one of those T1 Cunninghams do go down, it may not be a huge blow in tier points, but it is a huge blow for eyes and ears on the map.
Yep, and one of the T1s has been spotted. Laps is spotted, and it looks like Cazadores are trying to get their shots on target. Laps is going to try and make himself as difficult to target as he can. But I'm expecting Cazadores to really just jump on him in just a moment. Here we go. I think Kufo's going to go kill that poor little T1 in just a second. Poor guy.
Well, we saw a great match of Cazadores on Abbey that we actually made a highlight clip of. We'll show that during one of these plays here. And Kufo does get the kill against Laps. First blood, AMX 1390 takes down that T1. So now Cazadores has control of the Abbey itself and also more of the eastern section of the map, but at this time River of Blood with that aggression is pushing into the north side and rounding the corner, and they are going to get in some great positions to try to stop any flanks coming in from Cazadores.
But Striker is spotted here as he goes across the open. Fatigati is in a great bush position. He is spotting him. I don't know if he's going to spot anyone else.
I only see 2 tanks spotted. Fatigati and Commandum have been spotted on that side. Shots fired, some landing against Fatigati at this time. Captain Blood just around the corner of that WZ-132. Fast-moving tank, great traverse speed and great accuracy on the move. Now he's going to back up. And not overcommitting is going to be crucial here at this exact moment. But having that AMX 5100 set up where it is, that is a great position for River of Blood.
Yeah, it doesn't look like I don't think anyone from Cazadores is going to find him there. He seems to be in a safe position. And, ooh, I think actually they've snuck a WZ-132 across, and he will not get spotted as he joins that 5100. This is at a slight advantage here for River of Blood. They're going to be able to surprise any Cazadores if they make a mistake of trying to push to the west of their current position. They could get caught out, and they could lose a quick tier 8s, and that could be the match for them.
It could be the match. Now, Cazadores is down 1 tank already because they did not have their 7th team member. It means that they have to be down 41 instead of 42 tier points. So they are missing another scout on their side. River of Blood pushing into the Abbey, it seems, as one of the light tanks, WZ-132, Captain Blood, cruising in through the center line now. One of the other light tanks, the AMX 1390, Fatigati, is still spotted. And now Captain Blood's going to try to get some more spots as he inches closer to the position of Cazadores.
Yep.
You need to be very careful. Right now, River of Blood doesn't really know where all 5 tier 8 tanks are. They've spotted out 2 consistently, but for now, Captain Blood, in that WZ-132, you have to keep in mind, he needs time. Whereas the AMX 1390s, they can just burst down and then run away. So Captain Blood, he is active scouting right now, but he needs to play a little bit more defensive, in my opinion, because it's so easy for him to just be caught out and completely isolated.
If Captain Blood went directly south and tried to pressure the cap, is that a bad decision, Rukil and Green Torp, because that is firepower they need on the front line if they encounter Cazadores?
You know, that could actually be a good idea, because if River of Blood were able to put pressure on the cap right now, and they were able to make it work. Now, I'm saying they have to make it work. They have to kill the remaining T1 for Cazadores. And if they can do that, they River Blood can pressure the cap and probably force Cazadores into a retreat where they might be able to catch them out. And if they can put down the proper crossfire, that's a strat that River Blood could pull right now.
Well, Logos is spotted. Captain Blood and Logos are now having a gentleman's shouting match between the walls here of the Abbey. Captain Blood now backing out in his WZ-132. He's not going to have any shots across this way. Canaduck joining him just over the wall there as Savagey and Striker are covering the northern section of the Abbey. Savagey taking some hits earlier on. Another shot goes down, misses him, however, in that T-69. He's going to back up. Logos scouting again for his opponents. And what does he have spotted so far on the map, or does he have anybody spotted?
Well, I'm seeing most of River of Blood being spotted here, and actually Kufo's in a cool position. He just got some free shots on Savagey. He's down, but Canaduck has shots, I believe, on Fatigati here, and he's going to take them, but he's also going to take his own hits in reply, as Commandum is going to shoot Canaduck while he's distracted on another target.
Canaduck 935 at a 1400 HP, still hugging that wall next to those. Those are some dangerous stairs, man. If you fell off those stairs, that'd be terrible.
There actually is a cool way you can take your tracks up on those stairs and get over the wall if you're one of those smaller tanks.
I was just talking about a human. If you're a human climbing those stairs and you tripped, that's a long fall, but they're on some armored tanks. There's no infantry in this game. And I still see one of Cazadores locked down from River of Blood. He is spotted. Now they're seeing a lot of pings on the minimap here telling each other where to go, saying, I think he's in that section, I think he's in that section. They are correct. He is in that section. They got 2 of the light tanks and Cazadores aimed just across that chasm, that lower road between the higher road here. River of Blood maintaining one of their medium tanks next to their flags to make sure there's no flag pressure from Cazadores, but also positioning its one T1 to the very south that could put some flag cap pressure against their opponents here. 2 minutes 54 seconds left on the clock. Oh, right through that window. Captain Blood not fully committing here. As you know, Logos is just behind. So it's a bit of a standstill between these two teams at this time. 2 minutes 40 seconds left on the clock.
It's kind of interesting. With Logos being isolated over here, there's nothing either teams can do. Every single team, or well, really everybody on the side of Cazadores is just defending Logos, knowing that he is kind of exposed. And with that, it's really hard for River of Blood to make any movement, because obviously they want to take out Logos, but there's no reasonable way to do so without taking a lot of damage on their HP. But it looks like they're finally going to go and try to utilize their T1 over there on the other side. Arg is about to, or approaching, that flag cap.
Yep, he's inching closer and closer, like you said, and having that higher ground on the eastern road, the high road, allows Cazadores to see and match the aggression that be coming straight from Avi, and also be able to pinch down on top or pounce down on top anyone taking that lower road. Shots fired from Savagey. It does hit, takes down the T1, which was Jonah, and that allows the T1 Arg to capture the flag cap with no resistance from the other T1. That was a great shot from Savagey.
Yep,
now, think what it does. A Tier 8 has to go and point a gun at Arg. All of a sudden, Logos has one less tank in defense. They can definitely try to, or River of Blood can try to take advantage of that as Arg starts to get targeted. We're going to find out how all the positioning works right now. Captain Blood is still in a position where he can't be too engaging onto Logos. But remember that WZ-132, I believe it can fit through that tiny little entryway.
Confirming that you can. And Kufo actually is going to return to base right now. He is what Cazadores is going to rely on to stop Cap. Is River of Blood going to have any shots on Kufo when he returns?
River of Blood will have a couple shots, because now their AMX 5100s are positioning themselves to get those shots. However, they're not the fastest tank in the world. Their T69 is going to move in just over that western field to go up over the hill and be able to defend their T1. 62, 63, 64%, 35 seconds left. T69's now going to jump on it. He's moving just in time to get in front of the T1. Great movement by Doc Golem. He does take the shot.
What the?
Wow, Commandum gets Arg, though, from way across the way in a sniping shot. Cess28 takes down Doc Golem at the same time.
Some really nice crossfire over there, and look at this, River of Blood. They were actually trying to defend the T1 and, of course, the T69. I really felt like this is the time they need to go on Logos, but all of a sudden there's a gigantic advantage now for Cazadores.
They have an 8-tier point advantage.
Yes, that's right. Killing that T69 was gigantic, and now all of a sudden the pressure is on River of Blood to really make something happen, but they can't. It ran out of time. And
victory
there it is, victory for
Cazadores.
Beautiful, beautiful stuff, being down 1 tier point to begin with.
Way to position and to counter that attack. Congratulations to them in battle number 1, but we're just getting started. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We come back, analysis of that first battle, and we're going to get prepared for battle number 2. Don't go anywhere. That's an order. All right, Rukil, break down for me what's happening so far.
Yep, so in the south, we have Cazadores, who are looking to go, I think, a little bit towards the west here. That looks like a west movement. I'm not quite sure how they're going to set up yet. It's a little too early to tell. But River of Blood is going to do something very similar. They're also going to take a west movement. I would give them the advantage right now. North side, I think, has the west advantage when it comes to Himmelsdorf. And I'm wondering how they're going to be able to exploit this and take advantage of their position here. Although they shouldn't push right now. If they do, it could cost them big time in health early on.
To me, I've seen less and less hill play, but actually when I was talking about hesitation, one of those maps I believe was Mop 4 versus the other team they were up against, and has seen that hesitation of not bottleneck the other team. But shots fired now from Doc Golem against Kufo. Looks like nothing hit at that time. And River of Blood now lining up that triple battle buddy position in those that IS-3, AMX 5100, and another IS-3. They are ready to party. But Kufo is able to spot them, the AMX 5100 on his side.
Looking at the team lineup very, very quickly, 2 AMX 5100s, 3 IS-3s, and 2 T1s against 3 AMX 5100s and 2 IS-3s. So instead of an IS-3, you have an AMX 5100 on the side for River of Blood. Let's see if they can really utilize this. Of course, IS-3's big meat shields, not as big as the KV-5s, but also have extremely powerful alphas. Now, 3 IS-3s enable you to almost kill a single tank. And then, of course, the AMX 5100 is going to come in and pepper that last tank for the final blow. That's definitely a great way to utilize this 4-tank combo. We'll see if they use that in the upcoming fight.
Jonah 2 taking some hits himself on the hill, knowing that the other side, River of Blood, is pushing across there. A couple more shots fired. I would actually rather have an IS-3 with me than an AMX 5100 on this map that only has 2 shots left in its drum. Because of those 2 shots, yes, will do some great damage. As we just saw in that shot against Logos, another one against Logos, 897. But when any of these tanks have to clip, that's when I'd rather have an IS-3. However, that's how it goes in World of Tanks. It is a strategy of choosing, and Striker's chosen a very good place to lay some fire across the G line here on Himmelsdorf.
Yeah, really nice hold down position, but unfortunately, you know, you are in an AMX 5100, you're still going to be penned, but the IS-3 with 220 armor, that thing is not going to get hurt at all.
No, it will not. But the IS-3 is trying to use that reverse angling position a little bit, at least trying to get the angle. However, IS-3s don't angle too much because you already have angled armor at the front. Logos, another shot, and Cess 28, another shot. Looks like none of them hit, though. And a bit of a bounce, it looks like. Couldn't tell if that was off Captain Blood or from Captain Blood.
That was from Captain Blood onto Cess. He just fired onto Cess, who's actually very interestingly angling his front armor, only exposing a little bit of his left side of his plate at such a sharp angle that there's no way you could pen that. So this is actually a very interesting high-level kind of play with the IS-3, knowing how to angle half of your front so it's going to catch bounces and making sure not to reveal the other weaker exposed side.
River of Blood initiating the trigger there. More shots fired. Captain Blood is hit, but the first blood goes for Striker, taking down Commandum in the 5100. Cess 28 taking some hits himself. They are going to get surrounded here in a double pincer attack from River of Blood, also having one of the capture points in. Again, Captain Blood with the kill, along with Canada Duck, but Kufo takes down the T1, stopping the trigger of that flag capture. But that's the positioning that River of Blood needed to place Cazadores in a vulnerable position and win in for the kill.
Fatigati and Kufo are the only people left right now. Fatigati moving all the way across the map. I'm not sure exactly what he's trying to do. Okay, he's trying to link up with, of course, his T1 that is capping right now, but he'll probably be denied pretty soon here as 2 AMX 5100s are moving home. Let's be honest, I mean, Cazadores are super, super far behind. They were far behind after the initial engagements of them losing so much HP from that AMX 5100 in that hold down position.
Yeah, that G-line strike was so good on the side of River of Blood. He was shooting right through that rubble. I think Cazadores was more surprised than anything else, and Cess 28 took way too much damage. Boom! There goes the dynamite. Savage E takes down Fatigati in the AMX 5100. Jonah and Kufo, only 2 left alive here. 9 tier points on their side, 32 remaining tier points on the side of River of Blood. River of Blood already has won this match if none of them fall, but they're going to continue the chase as Kufo is going to try to stay alive with the remaining T1 Cunningham. Will they be able to do much, Greetorp? I think not.
No, definitely not. I mean, it's almost impossible. The whole team has to go AFK, and even still, it's like Kufo needs to find them and then unload all of his shells. And even then, I don't think he has enough time. I mean, I don't think River of Blood has to fire a single shot in order to win this, but they're going to, obviously.
Yep, they're going to clean up here. Oh, shots fired from Kufo. Just across the back. He's still got some bite in him. Trying to protect his Juna 2 guy. Juna 2 still left alive. Striker just going to crash right into him. Goodbye, little fella. And now the last remaining shots take down Kufo. 7 HP remaining. There we go. River of Blood ties it up. It is now 1-1 between Cazadores and River of Blood. Welcome back to WGLNA. I am Clutch. Joining me on the set is Greetorp and Rookhill, as we're going to jump into perhaps the final battle between Cazadores and River of Blood. Now, it is tied 1-1. We just saw 2 draws, and it looks like the next map is going to be on Airfield. I did not expect this map to get played as much as it has already in week number 1. This is actually kind of a new thing
kind of
for
an
me.
interesting map.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, we should have been getting a lot more stagnant matches on Airfield, and it's the exact opposite. It's like been one of the most exciting, I guess, most prepared match, just because not a lot of people see this. Well, that's not true. A lot of people do see this map.
On pubs, I see it a lot.
I don't know, man. I really don't know. Even in competitive play, I've seen a lot of Airfield. But normally it is so difficult to really be aggressive, so difficult to really push on your opponents, yet we've seen a lot of blitzes. We've seen a lot of different tank choices
Was it
on this
Bear
map.
Huggers that went the beach side? All their heavy tanks went the beach side, I believe?
Yes, against, not Nagatron, Fulcrum.
Fulcrum. It was all against Nagatron.
It was all against
Nagatron
Nagatron.
held the line against Bear Huggers.
And we also had that crazy play by Ermagerd Kernavern against the T-32 lineup, which is, on paper, looks really good on this map because there are a lot of good hold-down positions. But Ermagerd Kernavern was able to blitz them and take a really nice win on this map. Just a lot of really interesting stuff coming out from Airfield. Of course, I want to defer this to our expert over here on the side. Of course, it is Rookhill. Rookhill, tell me about this map, because I feel like there's only one place where you can really enter your opponents, yet we haven't really been seeing that at all.
Yeah, so the grinder, if we go and take a look at my screen real quick, guys, I will detail this push for you that we've seen not once, twice. Has there been a third time?
I'm not sure.
I don't think there's been a third time yet.
I mostly remember the beach push.
Oh, yeah.
Take the beach is
the
what
beach
Bear Huggers
was,
yelling.
yeah, not quite not the best push, I would have said. It's you slow down when you go towards the beach, and if you push the grinder, you definitely do set the tone for the match, especially if your enemy's split up. If you can discover that your enemy is far spread out and you can take a concentrated force, push right through the grinder, it doesn't matter if there's a hold down. It doesn't matter if there's anything. I mean, you just take a fight, you push it right into someone's face. It's a brawl at that point.
Yeah.
You take out most of any kind of geography of the map, and now it's a brawl. You have to win the brawl.
In those situations, what you're basically hoping your opponent is doing is being isolated just because they want to spread out the whole map. I feel like that's a theoretically incorrect way to play the map, just because of how suboptimal it is to play anywhere else, whether it's the beach or the airfield all the way on the top.
The thing is, you want to spread your fire, and that's smart.
Yeah.
But on top of being able to spread your fire and having good coverage, you need to also have good crossfire and be able to converge your fire on any one position your tanks are in. Being able to do that, and you've got a strong position.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, well, it's time for perhaps the final battle between these two teams, Cazadores versus River of Blood. The map is Airfield.
To start us off, let me talk about the tanks ever so quickly. 3 AMX 5100s, 1 T69, 1 WZ 132, and 2 Tier 1s over on the side of River of Blood. On the other side, we have 2 AMX 5100s, an AMX 1390, and 2 T32s. So Cazadores pushing out with 2 T32s.
They believe. They believe, Cazadores.
All they have to do is just make sure they keep together.
Take
Do what I've just said. Good coverage, but at the same time, if you have good coverage, you need to be able to converge all of your fire on the point where your enemy will push into you and try and isolate a tank. So if they can do that, we'll be fine. But whoa, that looks like a strong push.
River of Blood, they're crossing that 50-degree line right now, moving into the D5, D6 area, past the grind, and actually heading more towards the north area of the airfield itself. We hardly ever see any tanks in the esports scene move into that open area. That's where the planes launch when you're playing World of Warplanes. Make sure to check that out. It's in open beta now, worldofwarplanes.com for more information. River of Blood now is going to stop right behind these rocks, and Cazadores has 2 of their heavies in the F4 area, and one of them has been spotted.
Okay, one of them has been spotted. There is Kufo all the way on the top here. They should really start thinking about going. They know it's 5 versus 4. And just...
They're going to stop.
Yeah, well, the reason they're stopping here, guys, is they haven't actually seen anyone in the right places. Where Cazadores is now, they might have great shots if River of Blood pushes in the wrong spot. Because look at how long, how open an area they have to cross in order to approach an enemy right now. Most teams have put themselves very close to the grinder when they set up, but Cazadores is set up far back enough to the point where River of Blood says, I don't know if that's a good idea. Oh, never mind. River of Blood just says, let's go. And they've taken a lot of damage, but I don't think they've dished any out in return. Yeah,
no,
Cazadores.
they have not. Doc Golem at 50% health. Captain Blood himself taking a hit. He lost about 15%. Shots fired again across Logos. First blood, actually, on the battlefield. T1 does go down. Not a huge loss already at this point because the map is pretty much cut in half in a diagonal line. But you do lose eyes and ears.
I want to take a look at these 2 T-32s, Jonah and Cess here. They are set up in a very, very strong position, taking hull down behind each other. Now, if you take a look at them, they are in a fantastic position. From here, Jonah is actually in a great hull down behind his battle buddy Cess. They're going to actually back up a little bit here. They're looking for shots on tanks in the high ground. And I think I saw some damage. Yeah, Kufo did take a few hits at that time. This is what Jonah here is backing off. He wants to cover Kufo. Ooh, Canaduck does get spotted, takes a little damage.
That's right, shots fired, says 28, trying to lock down that hit. However, this is coming across the other side of the battlefield. Captain Blood still trying to spot next to that tower anyone that he can. He does see, I don't think he's been able to spot anybody yet. I have to tell on your guys' screen, but they do see River of Blood's Captain Blood on the map whenever he goes up that hill. But he is just staying low and out of sight for now.
I'm still so confused why there is an isolation on these two T-32s, Rootkill. I mean, constantly they know exactly where their opponents are. They see this crossfire, and there are a couple of hills that they can hide behind. This one in particular that I'm looking at, this is definitely an area where you can just swoop around and isolate some of the T-32s. But Rootkill, I'm going to again defer to you. What's going on?
Yeah, that's a very strong point, and that is probably where they could attack from. I don't think River of Blood sees that right now. I think what they see is they see 2 T-32s in a fantastic position, getting free damage, and you having to cross an open field. I think that's where River of Blood sees right now.
Yeah.
They don't see that whole attack, and they have to go through quite a bit of cover in order to get there.
And they can see this Amex 1390 just cleaned up a tier 1 over here, but the 1390 also is in another place. I mean, they know this 1390 is also isolated as well, so if they want to rotate around and try to contest this top, they can do that. It's hard to do so, though, judging the lineup. And as you can see, the only person that can really do that is Captain Blood. He's the only one that has that type of movement, that type of speed. And he's already down to 814 life.
Well, speaking of rotation, if River of Blood pushed into the F4 section, they took too much damage. You're going to have the rest of Cazadores in the C1 section moving in and getting those fires across the hangars. However, if River Blood moves fast enough and takes down those 5100s, that is in the center, I believe, or those are T69s for Cazadores, and then set up either counterflank or just hold down against the other Cazadore heavy tanks, they could win the match.
You know, I'm actually seeing another option here, and follow me with this, but Kufo could be the person they need to kill. If they go after Kufo...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, getting Kufo out, then you have a nice high ground from the middle here. Now, you do have to leave the grinder, and it will be difficult to approach Kufo because of Jonah and Cess's cover. Jonah and Cess have great cover fire on Kufo, so what has to happen is River Blood has to approach from 1, a blind spot, 2, probably from the north, and then they have to avoid that fire. So there's really only one approach that they're going to end up attacking Kuvo from, and they're going to have to catch him by surprise. And I don't know if they can do that.
And that's why I was saying before that the only tank that can do that is with the WZ-132. They can't really burst it down well enough.
Yeah, but he's not going to be able to do that alone. He has to have someone with him, and that's going to be a big problem because
there's no one else though. Who else has the traverse? The AMX 5100s are pinned down.
Yeah.
Right. There's 2 directions of crossfire. They're pretty much in a position where they have to hide behind this mountain.
Yeah,
right
they're
here.
stuck, and that's a problem too because if
they can be isolated.
They can. Yeah, if 2 tanks jump on Kufo, then
Kufo has been hit though. They have lit him up a bit, but he's going to back off. He is still spotted at this time on the side of River of Blood. Now, River of Blood still has ARG way in the back next to their flag at a defensive position. Is it possible they send in ARG as the sacrificial lamb to try to spot where Cazadores are once they get information?
You know, I think
that's
the perfect thing. You send in the T1, the WZ-132 comes up, knocks the AMX 1390 not out of the game, but pushes them away. It gives them a flank against the T-32s. They go for the T-32s.
Here we go. Actually, Cazadores is moving. They have seen that tanks are out of position. They're going to jump on the Canada here at 99.
99 hit points. 1 shot away from basically anybody. And here it is.
From the rear, Fatigati moves in and gets the kill.
Oh my God. Big plays by Fatigati. He's going to go down here, of course. He doesn't have a way to really get out. Captain Blood, Striker, and Savagey are going to try to put a little bit of fire on Commandant 77, but they're missing a ton.
Yeah, Striker is missing 2 shots. This is that fight is going to go to Cazadores, I think, at this point.
And Kufo behind. No guns are pointed at him. Unfortunately, now the T-32s with so much hit points are going to come in here.
Yes, T-32s are going to clean up. Savage at the front, you cannot handle it. There goes Commandant, taken down Striker. Jonah 2 and his T-32 takes down Savagey. I get excited to see these T-32s just going face to face in the brawl mode of these tanks. Captain Blood, only one left alive here that are tier 8. He goes down. ARG, the only one left, is going to face the defeat as Cazadores cleans this up. Great flanking and positioning for these 2 different teams here, but it came down to Cazadores pushing in and taking them down.
Yep, that was this entire time while we were talking about what River of Blood should have been doing, it was Cazadores who were thinking about what they needed to do, and then they executed. So
well, you know what they were able to accomplish? Taking off a ton of HP on those AMX 5100s, and what ended up happening was they became a gigantic liability. 99 hit points with one of the AMX 5100s. The other AMX 5100 only had 2 shots from dying. That's something that you really cannot have. AMX 1390 going to crash into that T1, and GG gets called out. Victory for Cazadores, and we have ourselves a victor.
That's right. Felicidades, Cazadores. They have their first win. First match win so far for the league. Unfortunately, this is a loss to River of Blood, which means they're 1-2.
Yeah.
Cazadores is now 1-2 themselves. So kind of tying up their match points here.
I felt like River of Blood had a ton of options. They just weren't decisive enough. You know, whenever you're up against T-32s, you have to be a little bit more bursty than that. But we didn't see that at all from River of Blood.
That's right. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about this series, and we're going to get ready for the next match, which is going to be Nerve versus EC. Don't go anywhere. World of Tanks action continues after this.
What's up, guys? Frodan here with our first WGL Community Challenge. Now, I love playing light tanks, from the hard-hitting AMX 1390 to the very nimble TAC-2. Playing Scouts opens up a wide range of exciting playstyles that rewards quick decision-making and intelligent positioning. In that vein, and in honor of Hits the Lights weekend, we here at the WGL would like to issue a challenge. We want to see your greatest scouting successes and your most hilarious scouting fails. Send us a YouTube clip of your brightest and derpiest moments. If we choose your clip to be part of our Hit the Lights montage, we'll send you 2,000 gold, 7 days of premium, and enter you in a chance to win a special premium tank drawing. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and start rolling out in your favorite light tanks. Once you've created your YouTube clip, send your submissions to WGLNA@herolevel.com. We'll sort through the submissions and announce the winners next week. Good luck, Commanders.